सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः। ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरं। पठामि संस्कृतं नित्यं वदामि संस्कृतं सदा ध्यायामि संस्कृतं सम्यक् वन्दे संस्कृतमातरम्। हरि ओम। Let us start with a Subhashita, very beautiful Subhashita. Once again, let us chant. I will chant, repeat after me. न चोरहार्यं न च राजहार्यं न भ्रातृभाज्यं न च भारकारी व्यये कृते वर्धत एव नित्यम् विद्याधनं सर्वधनप्रधानम्। टुगेदर। न चोरहार्यं न च राजहार्यं न भ्रातृभाज्यं न च भारकारी व्यये कृते वर्धत एव नित्यं विद्याधनं सर्वधनप्रधानम्। Okay, one task is you have to find out what meter is this. We have already completed the topic of meters, right? Purposely I have put some other meter other than usual our Anushtup and Shloka meter. Yes, Trishtup is the Chandas, but which Vritta is there? Which meter exactly? That you have to find out. So many types of Trishtup are there. Indra Vajra, Upendra Vajra, Upajati, etc. So find out. Now, what is the verse saying? Very beautiful verse. It says, Na chora haryam. Chora haryam na. Not stolen. Haryam means stolen. Chora, by thief, by thieves. Not stolen by thieves. Raja haryam cha na. And not taken away by Raja, king or government. Here in today's context, government. Raja we don't have. We have democracy, no? So Raja haryam here means not taken away by the government, by the king. Na bhratru bhajyam. Bhajyam means divided, dividing. Not divided bhratru, among brothers. What are we talking about? We will come to that. Bhratru bhajyam na. Bharakari chana. And it does not create any kind of burden. That, oh my God, I have so much of it. Bhara means burden. Bharakari, that which creates burden. And not creating any burden. Vyaye krite, and when I spend it, vyaya means spending. Vyaye krite, Sati Saptami Prayoga. Remember, when both words are in Saptami, it indicates time. Two words in Saptami to indicate time. Vyaye krite, when spent, Nityam vardhate eva. Again here, vardhata eva is actually vardhate eva. Echoya vayavaha and lopa shakalyasya. Remember all the knowledge that we have seen. Nityam vardhate, it keeps growing. When spent, it keeps growing. Vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. Such is Vidyadhana, wealth of knowledge is like this, and therefore sarvadhana pradhanam. It is foremost, it is the best among all kinds of wealth. What do you mean? Let us see again. Suppose I have money, I have too much of money, then I am always afraid that somebody will steal it from me. Whether it is money or gold or any kind of physical wealth. If I have land, etc., thieves cannot steal it, but government can take it away from me. King can take it away from me. Correct? If I have wealth that has come from my father, hereditary, if it has come to me, then what? Then bhratru bhajyam. Then that wealth will be divided among all my brothers and sisters, everybody. Correct? And all that kind of wealth is bharakari, it creates a burden. There is a tension. When I have wealth, I have tension that, I have to protect that wealth. And another problem with wealth is what? When I spend, it does not grow. It is spent. It reduces. I have money, I spend that money, it is reduced. It is not going to increase. If you invest, investment is something different. But if you spend, it does not increase. It decreases. But Vidyadhana, the wealth of knowledge is how? I have lot of knowledge. Which thief can come and steal it? No thief can steal. Rajaharyam, can the king come and take away my wealth of knowledge? No. Will it get divided into my brothers? No. Will it create any kind of burden? No. And when I spend it, when I give knowledge, my knowledge only increases. That's why Vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. Therefore, among all kinds of wealth, the wealth of knowledge is the best one. See what a beautiful Subhashita. It shows how important materials are not materials. Guruji always says, no? Values are valuable, not valuables. Values are valuable, not valuables. And actually speaking, values are invaluable. You can't even put a value on it. They are so great that you can't put a value on it. Like that, Vidyadhanam, the wealth of knowledge, is the greatest wealth. Nobody can steal it, nobody can take it away, it does not get divided, it doesn't create any burden, and it only increases when I spend it. Beautiful shloka. Let us chant it again and then we will go forward. Na choraharyam, na charajaharyam, na bhratrubhajyam, na cha bharakari, vyaye krite vardhata eva nityam, Vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. Vidyadhanam sarvadhana pradhanam. Right. Chalo. Clear? The Subhashita is clear? Shall we go forward? All right. All right. So now we are going to do Simhavalokanam. Yet another very beautiful word in Sanskrit. Simhavalokanam. What is Simhavalokanam? To look at it the way lion looks at it. What do you mean lion looks at it? They say when lion etc. is going somewhere, suddenly it will stop and just will look behind to have an overall look on his entire praja. Whoever is following him, he is the king, no? So he will just have a look at what all things were and then continue. He will not do anything. But to get an overview, Simhavalokanam means a view at a glance, a larger view at a glance. So let us see, right from the beginning we have completed 70 lectures, 70 classes on Sanskrit. This is 71st class. We have studied so many things. So what all topics we have covered so far? Let us see. We started with the topic of introduction, where we understood the importance and glory of Sanskrit language. And we also saw within itself what are all the Shastras, because the title is Sanskrit for Shastra-study. So what are all the Shastras for which we are going to, use this Sanskrit knowledge? That all we saw in the first topic. Second topic was Akshara. What are the letters or alphabets in Sanskrit? Swara, vowels, Vyanjana, consonants, Ayogavaha, symbols. What all of them are, that also we saw. Third, we saw Avyaya. What are the indeclinables? 10 types of avyayas we had seen. Why? Because those indeclinables, when we came to words, aksharas are joined together to become word. We saw in among all the words, these are the kinds of word that do not change. Right? Why they are called as avyaya? Because na vyeti, they do not change. They do not change means what? Vibhakti, linga, vachana, lakara, whatever you may use, they will remain same. So that entire section of avyayas we saw. First type of letters, first type of words. Then we started subanta. Subanta means that which ends with sup pratyaya, the nouns, pronouns, adjectives, adverbs, etc. Avyayas are also actually subanta only, but the pratyaya is added and dropped, and therefore pratyaya doesn't change in avyaya. But in subanta, according to vibhaktis, the pratyayas change. So what are the 7 plus 1 vibhaktis? What are their usages? Individually we have seen prathama vibhakti, what all places it is used, isn't it? Karta, kartari karta, subject in active voice, karmani karma, object in passive voice, kartari kartru visheshana, adjective of subject in the active voice, karmani karma visheshana, adjective of object in passive voice, and kartru visheshaka, subjective complement, etc. etc. For each vibhakti we had seen different usages. And then we saw shabda rupas, how when the nouns etc. are added with these pratyayas, subanta pratyayas, supratyayas, how that noun takes different forms, nouns as well as pronouns. And when I say nouns, the visheshana, the adjectives, everything, adverbs, everything is added in that. Right? So Shabda Rupas we saw Ajanta and Halanta, those which end with Swara and those which end with consonants. Ach Anta, Hal Anta, both those we saw. Akaranta, Ikaranta, Ukaranta, Rikaranta. Right? And then Halanta also, Takaranta, Nakaranta, Dakaranta, Sakaranta, Shakaranta, etc. I hope you remember. Shabda Rupas we saw. Then we started the topic of Tinganta. Only 2 types of words are there, Subanta and Tinganta. Suptingantam padam, that which ends with sup or ting, is called as word. So tinganta means what? That which ends with ting. What is this ting pratyayas? Sup pratyayas were those 21 pratyayas, 7 vibhaktis and 3 vachanas. Ting pratyayas are 18 pratyayas. 3 by 3 for parasmay pada, 3 by 3 for atmane pada. Purusha and vachana. Yes? Tiptasji, sipthastam, ipvasmas, etc. So what do they do? When they are added to the dhatus, to the roots, they form kriya, they form verbs. So what are different kinds of verbs? How are they classified in different ganas? In parasmay pada, atmane pada, etc. Why is that kind of division? And then further they are divided into lakaras, 6 tenses and 4 moods. And among them 5 most important lakaras we saw, others we just did the introduction. And then kriya rupas, how the verbs are formed. What are the final forms of verb? So suppose dhatu is there, bhu dhatu. So in lat lakara, in present tense, how does it take forms? Bhavati, bhavatah, bhavanti. Correct? Patati, patata, patanti. Namati, namata, namanti. Karoti, kurutah, kuruvanti, etc., etc. How different roots create forms of verbs. Kriya rupas also we saw. That was another very important topic which we had seen. Then we saw a very important topic of sandhi. Joining of letters. Joining of letters by which the words are written together. Very important aspect of Sanskrit, because not understanding sandhi, people think that Sanskrit is a very complicated language. Long words are there. No, if you should be able to just divide it properly, then there is no problem. So we saw ach sandhi when two swaras are joined together, hal sandhi when consonant is involved in joining, and visarga sandhi when visarga is changing into something. All different kinds of sandhis we saw along with sutras and examples. Exhaustively we have seen this entire topic of sandhi. We saw sutra, then we saw its varti vritti, then we also saw its formula, then we also saw examples, then at the end we also saw examples from Bhagavad Gita, how to join, how to separate, what to look for, everything we have seen about sandhi also. Now these are the main topics are covered. At the same time we saw some subtopics also. Rinatva vidhana. Rinatva vidhana means when na becomes na. Rashabhyam nonah samanapade. Atkup vangnum vyavayepi, etc. That when ra and sha is there, the na becomes na. But there are some rules. It should not be at the end. And if there is something in between, the letters in between should be good conductors. What are the good conductors? At, all swaras and semi-vowels, antastha, and kavarga, pavarga. If that is there in between, then still na will become na. All other cases, na will not become na. So therefore, ramena, but raman, because it is at the end, na remains na. Otherwise, na becomes na. Devena, ramena. Right. Natto vidhana. Vamsha vriksha also we saw. All different kinds of relations. In Sanskrit, what are they called? Mother, father, elder brother, elder sister, younger sister, uncle, brother's, father's brother, mother's father, all kinds of, all permutations, combinations we saw. Brother's wife, brother's children, uncle's wife, uncle's children, etc. All of that we also saw in that Vamsha Vriksha. Then one more topic of Upasarga while seeing Tinganta we saw. That Upasargas are added. Sometimes they add on to some meaning, or sometimes they change meaning, or sometimes they don't do anything. How Upasargas are added. Remember 22 kinds of Upasargas. We saw the entire table. Each Upasarga means what and how it is used. Upasarga. Prayoga. Prayoga also we saw. Kartari prayoga, karmani prayoga and bhave prayoga. Active voice, passive voice, and bhave prayoga doesn't have anything in English, but we have it in Sanskrit. So in kartari prayoga, karta is most important, therefore karta will be in pratama. In karmani prayoga, karma is more important, karma will be in pratama. Karta will go to tritiya. And in bhave prayoga, there is no karma. So karta remains in tritiya, there is nothing in pratama, and verb remains same, it does not change. Prayoga also we saw. Nijanta, causative verbs. Pathati, pathayati. Remember, karoti, karayati. Nijanta also we saw. Then we saw after sandhi, padacheda and avyaya. Avyaya nahi, anvaya. Mistake. Padacheda and anvaya. Avyaya is this. Anvaya means prose order. So we understood after sandhi, after we have studied sandhi, how to do padacheda, how to separate words. And after separating words, how to put those words in the proper order so that meaning becomes clear. In the normal SV, this is English. For English, this is the order: subject, verb and object. In Sanskrit, the general order is SOV, subject, object, verb. So you put subject first, then object. Whatever Visheshanas are there before the original noun, the Visheshanas are stacked. And you create a prose order, you create a sentence which will give meaning. So we also saw Anvaya. We also saw Sankhya Shabda. Sankhya Shabda, numerals, cardinals and ordinals, or all those things also we saw in Sanskrit. And then latest what topic got over was Chandas and Vritta, different kinds of meters. Alright, remember all these things, okay? All these things we have completed. Alright, now what are the things that we need to cover, topics to be covered? There are three main topics that we need to cover. One is Kridanta. What is that today? So many mistakes. Tadhitanta. Tadhitanta, not Tadhitanta, Tadhitanta. Tadhitanta and Samasa. Kridanta, Tadhitanta and Samasa. Okay, let us understand quickly what are these three things in simple terms, and then we will go forward. First is Kridanta. What is Kridanta? From a dhatu, a pratipadika is formed. Careful. Generally, so far what we had seen, Subanta. Subanta means from pratipadika, noun is formed. Tinganta means what? From dhatu, kriya is formed. From root, verb is formed. So generally, pratipadika is used for nouns. Dhatu is used for verbs. Now, from dhatu, pratipadika is formed. And then that pratipadika will have subanta, subpratyas, etc. and will act as subanta. Or, after that it may become avyaya and remain same. It can happen. But from dhatu, a pratipadika is formed. Kridanta. Tadhitanta means, so krit are kinds of pratyas. Just as subanta means sup anta, pratyaya, words that end with sup, pratyaya. Tinganta means words that end with ting pratyaya, verbs. Like that, Kridanta means words that end with krit pratyas. So there are another set of pratyas. Sup pratyas, 21 pratyas were there. Ting pratyas, 18 pratyas were there. Like that, there are some pratyas which are put together which are called as krit pratyas to create pratipadika from dhatu. Alright. Then, Tadhitanta means Tadhita, another set of pratyas. What do? They create pratipadika from another pratipadika. Not from dhatu. One pratipadika, it creates one more pratipadika by adding Tadhita pratyaya. So, in general terms, sometimes they say Kridanta is primary derivative and Tadhitanta is secondary derivative. Okay, I hope it is becoming clear. Dhatu is added with krit pratyas, okay, to become pratipadika, to create pratipadika. For example, let me give one example. Okay, Ram dhatu is there. Ram means to revel. Ram. Some krit pratyaya is added by which there is a pratipadika created called Rama. Kr dhatu is there. Kr karoti. Dukran karane, that dhatu. Some krit pratyaya is added by which word is formed Karaha. Hand. Right? So what is happening from dhatu? A pratipadika is formed. By which pratyas it happens, that is called as krit pratyaya, and those words are called as kridantas. Then Taddhitanta. Taddhitanta means what? From one Pratipadika, another Pratipadika is formed. Dasharatha, Dasharathi. Dasharatha, Dasharathi. Indra, Indrani. Brahma, Brahmani. Are you understanding? From one noun, so to say, another noun is formed. That is called as Taddhitanta. And Samasa means what? Two nouns are joined together to become one noun. Simple terms, that is Samasa. Two nouns are joined together to become one noun. That is called as Samasa. Okay? So, Kridanta is from Dhatu, Pratipadika is formed. Taddhitanta is from one Pratipadika, another Pratipadika is formed. And Samasa is two Pratipadikas are written together and one Pratyaya is added at the end. Okay? So many examples can be there for Samasa. When the topic comes, I will explain. Pitambaraha. Rama Ramanaha. Rama Ramanaha. What is this Rama Ramana? Rama is one Pratipadika. Ramana is another Pratipadika. They are combined together to become one word. Not Sandhi. Sandhi does not make it into one word. Sandhi means many words are just written together. They don't become one word. But in Samasa they will become one word. Rama Ramanaha. One who revels in Rama. That is Bhagavan. Right? So this way, these are the three main topics that we have to cover. Not elaborately, just briefly only we are going to cover. Whatever is important, those aspects only we are going to cover. So, let us begin. This is something that we had seen earlier. There are two types of words, Subanta and Tinganta. Subanta includes Nama, Sarvanama, Visheshana, Kriya, Visheshana and Avyaya. Noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb and indeclinable. Subanta means Supanta. Pratipadika plus Supratyaya. Tinganta is Kriya or Kriyapada. How is Tinganta formed? Tinganta. How it is formed? Dhatu plus Ting Pratyaya. Supratyayas, 21 Pratyayas according to Vibhakti and Vachana. Ting Pratyayas are 18 Pratyayas according to Purusha and Vachana and Pada also. Parasmay Pada 9 Pratyayas, Atmane Pada 9 Pratyayas. Now, how Pratipadika is formed? Dhatu is not created, it is already there. That's why it is called as root. There is no creation of that dhatu. And that's why in Sanskrit you can't add one more dhatu. Now that is not allowed. Whatever 2104 dhatus are there, they are fixed. Right? So dhatus are fixed. But Pratipadika is not fixed. So how Pratipadika is formed? So either Pratipadika can be formed from dhatu. When Pratipadika is formed from dhatu, it is called as Kridanta. Or Pratipadika can be formed from another Pratipadika. Then that is called as Taddhitanta. Or a Pratipadika can be formed by adding two Pratipadikas. Joining two Pratipadikas and making it into one Pratipadika. Samastapada. Samasa. Samasa means compound. Samastapada means compound word. Right? So these are the three topics that we are going to now see. How Pratipadika is formed. Now once Pratipadika is formed, then how to add a Vibhakti Pratyaya, etc. that we already know. Alright, clear? Is this clear? Shall we go forward? Alright, chalo. We are talking about creating Pratipadikas, etc. But Kridantas are actually different kinds of verbs only. Why? Because they are created from dhatu. They look like Pratipadikas, they act like Pratipadikas, sometimes they decline also, but they are actually Akhyata. What do you mean by akhyata? Akhyatam kriya rupah. Akhyata means a kind of verbs. That which comes from dhatus is called as akhyata. What are they? There are three types of akhyatas. Number one, tingantaha. Verbs come from dhatus. Already we have seen. From kru dhatu, karoti comes. From bhu dhatu, bhavati comes. From pat dhatu, patati comes. So what happens? As per lakara, purusha and vachana, they take different forms. Tinganta is first kind of akhyata. Second kind of akhyata, which is very interesting, is called as sanadyantaha. We will not be going in detail with all these things, therefore I am mentioning here, please pay attention. San adi antaha, sanadyantaha. San is a pratyaya. Okay, san adi, san etc. There are few pratyayas which are added and they are combined together, they are called as sanadyanta. Now what do these sanadyantas do? What do they do is, from dhatu, they create another dhatu. Vedji, you just now said that dhatus cannot be created. That 2104 dhatus, they are fixed. Original dhatu cannot be created again. But you can make changes in this sanadi, make changes in these dhatus by adding this sanadi pratyas. Three kinds of sanadyanta are there. Let us see. First is san antaha, san pratyaya. They are called as desideratives. Desideratives. What is the example? Chikirshati. Chikirshati. Now let us little bit here pay attention. Chikirshati. Chikirshati means kartum ichchati. What do this do? See, dhatu is there. To this dhatu, san pratyaya is added. Just as ting pratyaya, if it is added, then it will directly become verb. If san pratyaya is added, it will create another dhatu. Another dhatu it will create. So kru dhatu is there. For example, kru. To that, when san pratyaya is added, dhatu is created which is chikirsha. Chikirsha. Now once the dhatu is added, new dhatu has come. Now to that dhatu, this ting pratyaya is added to form verbs. So already kru dhatu, if you directly add ting pratyaya, then it will give rise to verbs. Karoti, kurutaha, kurvanti, karoshi, kurutaha, kuruta, etc. Now you have formed new dhatu. By that what will happen? You add ting pratyaya, it will create another set of verbs. Chikirshati, chikirshataha, chikirshanti, chikirshasi, chikirshathaha, chikirshatha, chikirshami, chikirshavah, chikirshamaha. In all lakaras, purushas, vachanas, they will form verbs. But why? Why it is added? To create the san pratyaya. What meaning does it add? Dhatu will have its own meaning. But what meaning san pratyaya is adding? San pratyaya adds the meaning of desire. Desire means what? Kru dhatu means to do. Kru means to do. Kru plus san, chikirsha means to desire to do. To desire to do. So chikirshati means what? He desires to do. Kartum ichchati, desires to do. Mumokshati, moktum ichchati. So you understand, from one dhatu, another dhatu is created. By adding san pratyaya adds the meaning of desire. Clear? Pipatishati. Another example, pipatishati. Pat dhatu. Pat. Pathati, studies. Pipatishati, desires to study. Pathitum ichhati. Okay. So they are called as san pratyayas, because of which another dhatu is created. Clear? This is one kind of sanadyanta. They also help in creating more verbs. They also come from dhatus. Second is nijanta, we have already seen. They are called causal verbs. Pathayati, chalayati, etc. So already one dhatu is there, patha. You are creating another dhatu from it by adding nich pratyaya, nich. Nich pratyaya is in the meaning of causing. So pathati, studies. Pathayati, makes someone study, teaches. Chalati, walks. Chalayati, makes someone walk. Okay. Hanti, ghatayati. Hanti, kills. Ghatayati, causes the killing, makes someone kill someone else. Okay. So again nich, like sun, they are added to dhatus to create more dhatus. And then again they will go patayati, patayatah, patayanti, patayashi, patayata. Like ting pratyayas are added and they become more verbs. So san pratyaya, nich pratyaya. Third is called as nama dhatavah. They are very interesting. What nama dhatavah? Nouns create a dhatu. Very, very rare. Very, very rarely used. But what do? Verbs formed from nouns. Example, putrayati. Putra is actually a pratipadika, actually a noun. Putra means son. Putrayati means what? Aputram putramiva karoti. Sahaputrayati. Sahaputrayati means what? It's very difficult to explain in English. See, suppose I have no son. Not suppose, I really have no son. But in this example also, let us say I have no son. Now somebody who is not my son, I start to consider that person as my son and start to take care of that person. Then I will say, aham putrayami. Putrayami. Putrayami means what? I am making someone who is not my son as my son. Another example, drumayate. This word drumayate you might see. Drumayate adrumam drumam karoti. Druma means tree. Druma means tree. Kalpadruma, kalpavruksha. Druma means vriksha. So drumayati means what? Adrumam, the barren land, he makes it into a fertile land where trees are born. So saha drumayate, not drumayati, drumayate. Atmanipada dhatu it becomes. So what is this? This is nama dhatu. These are very rarely used. Don't worry. This is just for information. Keep it in mind. Okay. Clear? So akhyata means anything that comes from dhatu. Akhyata means that where dhatu is involved. So tinganta verbs, they come directly from dhatu. Ting pratyayas are added. Sanadyantaha, 3 types. Sanantaha means what? From one dhatu another dhatu is formed by adding san pratyaya, and san pratyaya is in the meaning of desire. Nijanta means what? From one dhatu another dhatu is formed by adding nich pratyaya, where nich pratyaya is in the meaning of cause, causative verbs. In the same way, nama dhatu means what? From nouns dhatus are formed. And from that dhatu, then tinganta pratyaya, ting pratyayas will be added to make it into verb. Putrayati, putrayati, titaha, putrayataha, putrayanti, etc. Okay, or drumayate, drumayante, etc. Atmanepada also. Clear? And the third kind of akhyata is Kridanta, the topic that we are going to deal with. What do these Kridantas do? They are primary derivatives. They either create noun or what is called as incomplete verb. We will see what is this, don't worry. Incomplete verb means what? Formed by adding krit pratyayas to dhatus. Why they are called as akhyata? Because they come from dhatu. Okay, so from dhatu, three things can be formed. From dhatu, three things can come. One, kriya, verb. That's the main purpose of dhatus. That it gives rise to kriya. And for this, what pratyay is added? Ting pratyay is added. Then from dhatu, other dhatus can be formed. From one dhatu, another dhatu can come by adding sanadi, sun, nich, etc. Correct? From one dhatu, another dhatu is formed. Or from dhatu, pratipadika can be formed. By adding krit pratyayas. Is this clear? This we have already seen. This, whatever we have seen here is sufficient. We are not going to go in detail. Okay. You want to study more, you go into Vyakarana class, they will teach you. It doesn't come much often in the Shastras. Nijanta comes, and therefore Nijanta we have seen earlier. But sun, etc. pratyas are generally, very rarely they come. There are mumukshu, etc. words which come, but they are not verbs, they are nouns. Mumuksha, mumukshutva, mumukshu, all come from root much only. Moktumichuhu mumukshuhu, moktumicha mumuksha, or mumukshutva. But they are not verbs. We are not talking about that. They are also another kind of kridantas only. So that is an important topic that we will be seeing. This kridanta. Kridanta. All right. Chalo. Shall we go forward? This clear? So far clear. All right. So kridantaha. What are these kridantas? Primary derivatives, when we say, means what? We said dhatu plus krit pratyaya will create nouns. They can be declinables or indeclinables. We are going to see 3 indeclinable kridantas and maybe 5, 6 declinable kridantas. Okay, we will see that. So nouns as incomplete verbs, apurna kriya. We will see also what do you mean by apurna kriya. Apurna kriya means something is there, but it is not complete. It gives the meaning of verb because it is created from dhatu, but it is not complete in itself. Some other complete verb is required. Purna kriya is required. Purna kriya is tinganta. Karoti, patati, bhavati, asti, etc. Something is required after that. So they create apurna kriya. Krit pratyayas are added to dhatus. Krit pratyayas are added to dhatus. Right. Actually speaking, many words in our usage of Sanskrit are kridantas. Example, Ramaha, Karaha, Nayanam, Neta, Mokshaha, Dharmaha. All these words are formed from dhatu only. Okay, but there is a difference. What is the difference? Dhatu, by adding one set of krit pratyayas, will create pratipadika, and by another set of krit pratyayas it will create apurna kriya. By adding, so Kridanta pratyas by themselves are of two types. One is simple pratipadika it creates. Example, all these examples are given. Ramah, Ram dhatu, and pratyay, etc. is added. There are so many krit pratyas. Some pratyas are added to make it into pratipadika. Rama. Karaha comes from kru pratyaya, kru dhatu. Nayanam comes from ni dhatu. Neta also comes from ni dhatu. Moksha comes from much dhatu. Dharma comes from dhru dhatu. Dharanat dharma. So what are we doing here in all these cases? To the dhatus, we are adding certain krit pratyayas to create a pratipadika. Like that, most of the pratipadikas that we use are coming from dhatus only. And that's why while explaining it in Sanskrit, sometimes they will explain it as etymology. You must have heard this word. Etymologically, the word means this. So for example, dharma. What do you mean by dharma? Dharanat dharma. They will say etymologically, dharma means dharanat, that which upholds. Now how did you come to this? Because the word dharma is formed from dhru dhatu, and dhru means to uphold. To hold, not to uphold. Dhru means to hold. Dharati, to catch. So from dhru dhatu, word is formed, dharma, pratipadika is formed. Much dhatu, much means to release, to be free. So moksha, liberation, word comes from where? Comes from the root much, to free. Same way neta or nayanam comes from root ni. Ni means to lead. Ni naya dhatu. Ni naya dhatu. So what? From different pratyas, dhatu is same, but different krit pratyas are there to create nayana and neta. Different krit pratyas are used. From same dhatu, different pratipadikas are created. So nayanam is eyes, those which lead. Neta is also the leader. Different pratipadika is formed. Kru dhatu is becoming kar. Kru means to do. Kara means hand, which does. Rama means to revel. And Rama means one who revels, or one in whom everybody revels. So Ramate iti Ramaha, Ramante yoginaha yasmin sahapi Ramaha. Right? One who revels is also Rama. One in whom everybody revels, again the word revel, to revel is used, no? Ram dhatu is used. This is called as etymological meaning. So to explain a pratipadika, they will explain from which dhatu it has come. From which dhatu it has come. They will explain that entire logic. Please understand, we will not be seeing these pratyas. We will not. Can you see not there? Why? Because then it will enter into the depth of grammar. Then the purpose of this class is not fulfilled. Sanskrit for Shastra-study, okay? That much only our area is that much only. So if suppose somebody wants to know how each, there are lots and lots of discussion, because there are hundreds of krit pratyas are there. Ana pratyay is added, and krit itself pratyay is added, and so many such rules are there. We will not be seeing this. So this one we are not seeing. What are we seeing? We are seeing this. Dhatu, when krit pratyay is added, it creates apurna kriya. Those are special kinds of kridantas. Special kind of kridantas. Those we will be seeing because they come in Shastra very often. So those are the ones that we are going to see. There are more than 100 krit pratyas. We will be seeing most commonly used one. For example, tvanta, twa, lyap, tumun, shatru, shanach, ta, tavatu, tavyat and aniyar. These are the different kinds of pratyas. These are different kinds of pratyas. So twa. Let me just give you examples. We will be studying all these pratyas in depth. Okay? But let me give you some example. Kritva. Have you heard this word kritva before? Hatva. Jnatva, Natva. All these words have you heard? All of them are coming from dhatu by adding twa pratyaya. So kr dhatu twa pratyaya, han dhatu twa pratyaya, jna dhatu twa pratyaya, nam namati, nam dhatu twa pratyaya. Or lep is also in the same meaning. What is that? Sampuja. Then samnyatva, sampatya, vikritya, samskritya. This is by adding lyap pratyaya. Then tumun pratyaya. Tumun is tum actually. Kartum, akartum, anyatha kartum, jnatum, moktum. Remember just now we were seeing desideratives, we used all these things. Kartum icchati, jnatum ichcha jidnyasa, moktum ichcha mumuksha, patum ichcha pipasa, thirst, bhoktum ichcha bubuksha. So that bhoktum, kartum, moktum, that is all patitum, all tumun. Tumun pratyaya. This you will see in Shastras quite often. Therefore, we are going to study this. Right? So these twa, lyap and tumun, these three are indeclinables. First three pratyas that we will be studying will create a word which is indeclinable, avyaya. Means what? Kritva will remain kritva. Wherever you use whatever vibhakti, vachana, etc., it doesn't matter. It will not change. Kritva, hatva, jnatva, kartum, sampujya, all this tvanta, lebanta, tumunnanta, all of them will become indeclinables. Okay? Then there are other kinds of. Shatru and Shanach are present participles. Then ktak tavatu are past participles, past perfect participles. Tavya and aniyara are other kind of pratyas. Okay, do you want examples for that? I can give examples also. Shatru Shanach means chalan hasati, karayan, kurvan. These are all Shatru. Naiva kurvan na karayan. You remember all this? There is one verse in Gita. Pashyan, Shunvan, Sprishan, Jigran, Ashnan, Kachan, Swapan, Shwasan. All that is Shatru Pratyaya. Shanaj is also similar, but it is for Atmanipada, so Ana, etc. is added. That's okay. Similar. Kta, Ktavatu again are very much in use. Kta that ends with ta. And Tavat means Tavat. Bhagavat, Bhagavan. How have you formed this? Bhagavat. Original is Bhag. Dhatu Bhagavat. Kta pratyaya is added to make it into a noun. These are now Shatru Shanach Tavatu Tavyataniyar are all declinables. Okay, so they are normal pratipadikas. So they will go through all kinds of vibhaktis, etc. Okay, so tak tavatu, for example, maya dattam. Maya dattam. Datta is what? Datta is ta pratyaya. Ta pratyaya. Given by me. Maya dattam asti. In this Sanskrit Bharati, when they will teach you how to speak Sanskrit, they will use this tak tavatu exhaustively. Why? Because then you don't have to worry about kriyas. You don't have to worry about dhatus and how different kriyas are formed. That is not required. Da dhatu is there. Da dhatu. Now da dhatu, when it goes into kriya, it takes different. Da yachati, it becomes sometimes. So yachati, yachata, yachanti. Sometimes it remains dhatu, dhat. Different kinds of forms are there. Right? Now what? You just create tak tavatu pratyaya out of it and use it. Dattaha. Aham dattaha. I have been given. So in passive construction, ta is used. In active construction, tavatu is used. Right? We will be seeing that also. Tavyat and aniyar means that to show that something must be done. Tavya and aniyar pratyaya is added. Kartavya. See, kartavya. Kr dhatu is there. Tavya is added. So kr means to do. Kartavya means that which must be done. Or aniya, karaniya, that again that which must be done, but a different flavor is there to that. Okay, so these are different kinds of kridantas, krit pratyayas that are added to dhatus to make incomplete verbs, apurna kriya. Okay, so I hope it is clear. Krit pratyayas are added to dhatus. Either it will create pratipadika straight away and normal it will create. Then that is not something that we will be seeing. But what we are seeing is it creates apurna kriya. Either indeclinable such as twa, lyap and tumun pratyayas when added, or declinables. Shatru, shana, tak, tavatu, tavyat, aniyar, etc. Okay. So we are actually going to see only 9 pratyayas. 3 indeclinables and then 6 declinables. That is what we are going to see in Kridanta. Okay, sufficient. Twantalyapanta we will see in the next class. Sufficient for now. In coming maybe 5-6 classes we will be covering this topic. All right. Shall we conclude? Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.